After his show ended a while ago, the Scarlet Speedster has made its first appearance in Hollywood. And today we're gonna talk about exactly this appearance, namely the Flash film with Ezra Miller. But first, my name is Finn. I'm the producer and host of the podcast Nerd Universum you are currently listening to. I hope you like it, and this episode is about The Flash. I'm gonna do a disclaimer at first, that when I rate The Flash, I ain't gonna take the person Ezra Miller and what he might or might not have done in consideration, and I'm just gonna talk about the art and how he acted. I know it's a problem, but we're gonna stick to this topic for this podcast. But first, what's The Flash about? For the fans of the Flash series, it's basically the Flashpoint storyline, basically the first 2 seasons, but a little different. It's about Barry Allen, who discovers that he can travel in time and wants to save his mom, which he does, and on his way back he gets thrown out of the timeline and has to save the world from the attack of General Zod together with Supergirl, Batman, and a younger version of himself. But first, how I like this movie. I love this movie. It was good. Maybe some things in the CGI wasn't as good, but Ezra Miller was a good actor and he acted well. I would have preferred Grant Gustin, but I think everyone who's seen the Flash series would have preferred Grant Gustin. Sasha Calle as Supergirl was fabulous, one of the best things in this film, in my opinion. And yeah, the Batmans also did a good job acting. The CGI was, as I already mentioned, a little bit problematic, because Flash suit looked kind of weird for me, but the Speed Force and all of these things were were done really good, new but really good. And all in all, it was good written, but with a new imagination of the original storyline, at least the original storyline I knew from the comics, and all in all, I'm gonna give this movie 7.5 of 10 stars. Now I'm gonna summarize this movie, so if you still want to watch him, stop the podcast now, watch him, and come back later for a little recap. The movie begins with Flash helping Bruce Wayne and Diana Prince, aka Batman and Wonder Woman, stop a bank robbery from Alpha Cona's gang, and which has gone wrong in Gotham City. After that, Barry revisits his childhood home and remembers a few with his parents, Nora and Henry. Nora was killed and Henry wrongfully imprisoned for Nora's murder. When his emotions overcome him, Barry accidentally uses the Speed Force to travel back in time to earlier that day, and after he travels back to the normal time, informs Bruce about it, and despite Bruce's warnings, that time struggle can have like weird effects, like butterfly effect we all know from a huge number of films. Barry goes back to the day of Nora's death and prevents it from happening. And as Barry returns to the present, he's knocked out of the Speed Force by another Speedster and lands in an alternate version of 2013 where his mother is still alive. He finds his past self and he realizes he has arrived at a day. He obtained his powers, he breaks into the Central City Police Department and forces 2013, so his younger version, to be struck by lightning, but accidentally both are struck by lightning and normal Barry loses his powers and 2013 gets in, and Barry wants to train 2013, which turns out to be a little bit problematic, and after that the two of them see broadcasts that General Zod is preparing to invade Earth, which happened in the normal time but much later, and as Barry tries to assemble the Justice League, he found out that they are unable to locate Diana Prince. Victor Zone, aka Cyborg, hasn't gained his abilities. Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman, was never born, and so the two of them travel to Wayne Manor, where they found an older version of Bruce, who is retired from crime fighting. Bruce explains then the concept of the multiverse with a bowl of spaghetti, which is really funny. And then both Barrys convince Bruce to find this timeline's version of Kal-El, aka Superman. With Vector and the NASA, they find out that it's in Siberia. They fly there, find Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, who is was caught by the Siberians. They rescue them from the facility, and Barry asks Bruce to help him. Like the normal Barry asks Bruce to help get him his powers back. The first attempt fails, and Barry kills Barry, and then Kara flies to Barry and flies in the storm, and he's struck by lightning a second time, which is reviving his powers. Kara and Bruce join the two Barrys to fight Zod, and Kara learns that Zod intercepted Infant Scarlet's escape pod and killed him during a failed attempt to retrieve a codex from his DNA, which could recreate Krypton on any planet. And he reveals that the codex is in Kara. The two fight with Zod, who is overpowering and killing Kara and obtaining the codex from her blood, and Bruce is also killed. Then the two Barrys travel back in time to save their companions, but realize that they are unable to change their fates. And Barry 2013 keeps trying, and during his trying, the universe collapses in itself, and eventually the corrupted Speedster, who originally knocked Barry out of the timeline, appears and turns out to be a future version of 2013, who still believes he can save the world from the Zod and prevents his friends Kara and Bruce's death. He explains that the causal loop paradox that led to his own creation, because Barry created him with giving him his powers, but the only one from stopping him achieving what he wants to is Barry. So the future version tries to kill Barry, and 2013 draws him before him, and after that Barry wipes the Dark Speedster from the timeline and goes back to undo his changes on the timeline. And in the aftermath, he recognized that a minor change in his past could prove Henry's innocence, and after returning to the present and helping to exonerate Harry, Barry is contacted by Bruce, who turns out to have a different appearance, aka he is George Clooney, during Barry's timeline change. Yeah, that was kind of the contents of the flag. Yeah, I don't know how it's going on. Maybe I'm gonna make an whole podcast to that, but up to then, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Links are all in my bio, and yeah, see you hopefully next week. Share the podcast, and maybe leave me a speak message also in the link in my bio with like critics, things you like about my podcast and everything.